While your workflow is running, SharePoint updates and shows that it's in progress. And then when it's all done, it shows it as canceled or completed, depending on how it ended. There are some built-in statuses, but you can set your own status that would be a little more user-friendly or would just provide more information. So to set the workflow status, this is different than the status of an item that we might do as a custom field. This is of the workflow itself. Let's go ahead and choose Action, Set Workflow Status. Now, there are 3 items on the drop-down already. You can choose when you're setting the status from canceled, approved, and rejected. You can also add other items to this list. If you do, you can't delete them from this list later on, so this is a place to be a little careful with your typing. And if you have a list that you're going to use, you might imagine before you customize it what that list would look like in all kinds of different settings. For example, if I wanted to have something that instead of said canceled said that the workflow status was terminated, am I comfortable using that every place, or is that jargon that's only good for this particular list? On the other hand, I might want to type something really long. For example, we've ordered the business cards when it gets to this point. So the workflow status could be order completed. That would be just fine as something that I might want to set. And I wouldn't use that then if it wasn't an order system of some kind. So I'm actually going to say order completed, and I'm going to tab. So now when I go back to this list, as I told you, I have 4 items on here. And I can use this any place else in this workflow and with this list, but not anywhere else. If I want to have order completed elsewhere, I'm going to need to type it in again, unless I want to approach this programmatically using Visual Studio. So if this is the very last step in a workflow like it is here, I'll actually see this when I go look at my workflow log or my history log. But right now, it just gives me a way to move the status along and use the language that I would prefer to use in order to update the workflow status.